How you doing? You know me, I'm driving again, I'm multitasking. It's the thing about white privilege. Never stop working. End of the season here. Starting to get pretty ugly, starting to feel like winter. Yeah, that time was gonna come. We all run from it though. So I'm sorry I haven't checked in lately, I haven't had anything to say. It's just been a busy time of year for me. I just gotta weigh in a little bit. Stuff's gotten crazy around here. I mean, it's just insanity what's going on in our world right now. And I don't know if I'm the only one that gets it or sees it, or if it's pretty common or what it is. You know, I mean, anything from everybody's racist, everybody's a sex offender. I mean, it's crazy right now. It's just crazy, you know? And I'm not taking anything away from anybody that's been wronged in any way. So don't misunderstand me before I start stepping into this. You know, it's just... I'll give you an example. You know, this whole sexual harassment fever. It's just a fever that's going on right now. Everybody's sexually harassing somebody. Everybody's just a pervert. I mean... None of us are really shocked about, you know, Hollywood. I mean, but I do want to thank them right now, because I appreciate the fact that they can stop raping each other long enough to tell us how we should feel about guns or politicians or, you know, any matters, any kind of public policy. So I'd like to say thank you to you rapist, sick bastards for telling us how to think the rest of the time when you're hypocritical, sick people, okay? And not everybody in Hollywood, but let's be honest, 80-90%. And I mean, are we really shocked about all we're finding out about all these people that are sexually groping? And I mean, what's this thing with rich guys wanting to jerk off in front of girls? You can get any woman you want, and that's your deal? For real? You're gonna finish in front of some girl? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, can't you go buy a hooker? You're loaded. You know, I'm sure she wouldn't mind watching you. I mean, I'm sure there's 1,000 girls out there that wouldn't mind watching. Yeah, but Jim, it's about power. It's about power. Yeah, I know. Whatever. You're sick. But let's get back to the matter at hand. And what that is how we've just become this hypersensitive, pussified nation. I mean, so ridiculous. You gotta walk on eggshells everywhere. And right now it's with this sexual harassment shit. Like I said, anybody that's been truly wrong, not taking anything away from you, you don't deserve that, step up. A lot of you don't know, 40% of all domestic violence that's unreported is committed against men. So I'd also like to give a shout out to those men that have put up with emotionally, physically, and verbally abusive relationships. And the ones who aren't pussies, the ones who aren't reporting it, and just look at the woman and be like, you know, I make her crazy. That's why she does this shit. You're my guy. I feel your pain. It's okay. Because you haven't been pussified like the rest of this country. Let's take this whole sexual harassment fever. It's just a fever. And why I call it a fever is because you got all these symptoms, right? But this fever's growing. It hasn't broke yet. We haven't seen the end of this shit. It's going to get crazy. I mean, the number one sex worker, blah, 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 industry that's growing right now is lifelike sex dolls. It's going crazy. If you got some money, put it in some company making lifelike sex dolls. You'll get rich. You know why? Men are at the point we're freaking afraid to say even hello to you ladies. I looked at some of these progressive sites. Any more than one advance on a woman that's unwanted, you're sexual harassing it. Cool. Now let me ask you men that are watching. How many of you hooked up with your wife, spouse, significant other? How many of you where it took one come on? Huh? We had a name for those girls in the day. Yeah, you know what it was. Right. Not anymore. Apparently, those are the only girls we deserve. Because playing hard to get or working for your woman, that's not happening anymore. You are a sexual deviant. Now, I'm not talking about what goes on at work, because there should be no place for it in the workplace. But like I said, in the past, many times, you can't legislate, you can't litigate people's human behavior. You can't do it. It's the human condition. So you can make all this fever and you're all perverts and you're all, you know, all you're doing is cheapening it. You're cheapening it. Well, Jim, what do you mean? You're crying wolf. Okay? That's all you're doing. Because when everything's racist and when everything is sexist, then nothing is racist and nothing is sexist. When everything is sexual harassment, then nothing is sexual harassment. Basically, like I said, you're crying wolf and you're desensitizing the American population so that legitimate victims that have been wronged in legitimate ways, you're cheapening what they went through so you can pull some attention. Oh my God, Jim, how could you say some shit like that? How could you say? Let me tell you how. Okay? Read an article the other day. I'm cruising through, late night reading, that's my thing. I don't sleep much. So I come through this link article, and it's this woman that was like one of the world's best soccer players, right? And I don't follow soccer, so I don't give a shit. But whatever. And she's like, I was sexually assaulted by this man. And it happens to be, some of you may have read the article, it was the president of the World Soccer Association, which got kicked out a few years ago because I know he had his hands in some pretty greasy shit. You know, that was just his nature. So I'm like, I want to check this out, you know, because the guy's older than Adam. And I'm like, how the hell could he have sexually assaulted somebody? Especially this in shape, I mean, strong physically prowess of this woman, right? You know the lungs on soccer players, the stamina these men and women have? They're animals. Their legs are like, oh my God. You know, so I gotta read this article, right? So I get to the article and she starts talking about how they're at some awards ceremony or some shit. And I'm like, well, this ain't lining up to be a sexual assault. I don't get it. So she was heading to the podium to give, whatever, with him, right? An award. He firmly grabbed my buttocks. That's it. Now, I guess, you look at the legal definition in almost every state, assault is any unwanted touch, right? You can find that out with police, too. You touch them, they're, it's assault on an officer. Just take my word for it. Anyways, so the whole headline of the article was that this woman is claiming to be sexually assaulted. And these are the words she used. I was sexually assaulted. Now, in my mind, when we talk about sexual assault, we're talking about a woman being raped. Or man, whatever. Or however 50 genders there is now. I mean, whatever. So, when you're classifying being harassed, and I would consider that harassment, it's out of line, it has no place. The man's an old pig. But when you're classifying that with sexual assault, people are going to read that headline, right? In sexual assault. When people actually find out that you were groped, which is wrong, like I said, in and of its own. But when we group that together, like I said, you're cheapening it. You're cheapening it. Same with these race crimes. What the freak is wrong with these people? Like, most of these things coming up in the news, the one in the Navy, the kid downstate, Lower Michigan or whatever, had graffiti sprayed all over his car. The black girl at college who thought somebody hung a noose from a door. It's a pair of shoelaces. Fucking shoelaces. What's wrong with you people? Oh my God. The kid in the Navy, the kid downstate, guess what? They're the ones who scrawled the graffiti on their own shit. You're wrecking it for everybody else. Those people out there that suffer from true discrimination have been treated wrong and they've been wronged in our society. Yes, we need to make more progress at that. You're effing it all up for them. Why? I don't know. Same with these women coming out of the closet, I was sexually harassed. And I mean, those that were wronged, I get it. And man, it's wrong, and we need to make some steps, man. We need to make some steps. Just making a woman feel awkward, I mean, but we can't group them in when, like I said, when everything's sexual harassment, when everything's racism, then nothing is. You're desensitizing the population. Nobody's gonna give a shit. Johnny, you hollered wolf 10 times already. Now the wolf's gonna come and he's gonna eat your ass. Because nobody cares. That's all you're doing in this situation. That's it. I mean, all these powerful people, and we're like beside ourselves, they're doing this stuff, Really? It's mainly rich white guys, but that's just because that part of the demographic, most of those guys are white. But it's rich black guys too, and Middle Easterners. You show me a rich man, I mean an uber rich man and powerful man, I will show you somebody who acted inappropriately. That's either raped somebody, harassed somebody, done something way out of line. Power corrupts. It's what happens. Let's not cheapen the rest of it by trying to jump on board with the Me Too and shut up, Rose McGowan. Who's the other one? What's her name? God, I can't even think of her name right now. I can't believe that. Ashley Judd. You two gold-digging, worthless whores. Not that you deserve what happened to you. That's what you are, though. You know why? Ashley Judd. I made a deal with Weinstein. I knew what was going to happen in the room. So I told him, you know what, Harvey? You don't get to have sex with me till I win an Emmy or a Grammy. Deal? Deal? McGowan, too. I was raped by Harvey Weinstein. You didn't say a goddamn word for 30 years. Ashley Judd. So you're telling me you knew this was his behavior and you kept it quiet. Over what? Your career. You gold-digging whores. You have no respect from me. I'm not coming out here. And womankind, if they actually are looking up to you, somebody needs to smack them in the back of the head. They let their fellow man and women through decades be abused. Because they knew he was going to do it again. But their fucking career was more important than some other woman being treated this way. So I have no respect for you. I don't think you're some savior because you're coming out. You're a lowlife. You traded somebody else's worth for your career. I hope you rot in hell and just die a terrible death. That's what I think of you. Anybody that would let that happen to their fellow man or woman over monetary gain is a terrible, terrible human being. So, I mean, I just wanted to vent a little bit today. Sorry, I'm kind of going off the wall. But things have gotten out of hand here. And, I mean, until this country and the people in it stop being such pussies, it's going to get worse. What happened to this country? What happened to the strength that we had? We used to run shit. Took over this whole world in 200 years. And now because Larry leered at you on your way to the water cooler, you're a victim? We got Lifetime Movie Network. We got all this other shit. We're raising generations of victims. We got college kids that need safe places. I'd like to put my boot up your safe place. Because there is no safe place in humanity. There is no innocent victim. You were born into this shit world like the rest of us. So you crawl and you scrape and you fight and you try to maintain that piece of you that makes you a decent human being. And you do for others as much as you can. Because that's where we can redeem ourselves as humanity. You don't sell out your sister and let dozens of other girls get raped so you can have a fucking movie career. I don't know. That's all I have to say about this. Smarten up, America. Quit raising your kids to be pussies. You adults, quit acting like you're the victim. The rest of the countries out there are laughing at us, how soft we've all become. And men, quit showing your shit to these women. What are you doing? You rich men, you're wrecking it for the rest of us. My buddy can't even hit on a woman anymore, more than once. Craziness.